Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Lift off and the clock has started.
Toot toot.
That's
Deuce,
right.
Deuce.
Deuce, deuce. I say that to my dog Bowie when I'm trying to get him to take a shit outside. I'll be like, deuce, deuce, Bowie, deuce, deuce. Yes, it's true. This is episode 22. The council has assembled once again. Gentlemen, life as we know it, it's been going. How has it been going? That's the real question. We got one council member moving into a house. We got another council member doing tests and finishing up his education for his career. We got a family man. We got a career man, and I'm just drifting in between everything. So we're all fucking busy. But how has it been, guys?
We got another man in here learning all about Filipino cooking that he's better be ready to share those secrets with us.
That's what I'm saying, man. This career man over
that was
here.
Vietnamese, but
Oh, was it?
well, fresh spring rolls is a Vietnamese thing.
I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea.
Food from the Asian
Dude, but
continent.
it looked
is always
fucking
welcome.
good, man.
I'm gonna eat it. I
Oh, it
don't
was
care.
bomb.
We all
It was very
collectively, I
easy
think,
to make.
will open that text and we're just like, ooh.
It surprisingly was very easy to make. I did it with pork, but you
Nice.
could do it with, shrimp, chicken, beef.
The
whatever.
pot sticker bandit is salivating over here.
was it Rice and Pot Sticker? Was that the tag team?
Big Rice and
Genius.
Pot Sticker, me and Luke. Yep.
Yeah.
We still have to figure out, since Luke kind of quasi agreed to do the tag team, we got to figure out who's gonna be an opposing force for that.
Do we need a heel?
We do, dude. We do. I claim referee in the match. Okay, I'm ref,
Nice.
I can play a heel. I know how to take a fall.
dude.
Play
There
a
you
bad
go.
guy.
Now we just gotta get another. You gotta get another team member. I guarantee you, Fitz will come swinging in as a guest.
Oh, yeah.
A special guest. He'll come in with a giant foam finger and knock somebody.
They'll just throw a keyboard at them.
With a floor
Yeah.
lamp. Just
There you go. Dude, it's real. It's going down.
Calm old clave. Just
Chopping. Oh man. Yeah, it's been wild, dude. I'm in the middle of my finals right now, and they're slaying me. I don't know if
What?
any of you are familiar with
Winter-
Mark Records,
Oh, is it like winter finals? Winter
Yeah.
quarter finals?
but one of my classes we're doing these things called Mark Records, and they're like machine readable records for library collections, items in the library collection, and it just looks like fucking computer code on a screen. Like when you're looking at it, you're just like, oh, this is translated into a book I'm supposed to find. It's fucking nuts, man.
You have a feeling I'm not in the Dewey Decimal System anymore.
No, we've journeyed far past that. It's fucking gnarly, man. But that's why, again, as always, these podcasts are just such a nice reprieve. So, this playlist was really I'm not the biggest pop punk fan, but this week's pop punk theme kind of helped keep me a little motivated, to be honest. I like the energy, that the music gives us always. So, that being said, I say we just dive right in.
let's dive. I enjoyed this playlist. I've been listening to it regularly throughout the week. I've been having a blast with this one. I'm excited.
Yeah, this would be
Clean
like
my
this.
house
be
with
back.
on.
It's the immediate I immediately think of you, Flannery, every time I think about pop punk now. It's like I was telling somebody how I got schooled by you guys on Midwest emo over the course of all of this.
Of course.
Oh, there's some overlap.
I was gonna say there's definitely some overlap in that diagram, but so yeah, starting out we got set your goals to be continued.
Yeah, so Set Your Goals is seriously one of my most formative bands. I found in a random drawer in my house, I found my iPod from junior high, and I fired that thing up. And Set Your Goals had 4 songs in my top 25 played with over 1,000 plays from this album.
Yeah.
And so I knew when I saw pop punk, I had to find a Set Your Goals song. And I I still love the song. I was blown away by how trash the recording value of this track is, but it's such a good track anyways. I just fucking love Set Your Goals.
Yeah. Oh god, I gotta sneeze. It's yeah. No, I really jammed this fucking track too. I thought it was a great way to kick off the playlist, Jameson. I'm not like as versed, I'd say, as the rest of you probably in Set Your Goals is like discography. They were one of those bands that like I remember everybody kind of having a track or two to play, but I just never had any on my my Dell Pod back in the day to invoke the name, you know. But you know that, like I said, like right before. The energy of a lot of these songs is just like fucking motivating, you know what I mean? And that's really like what I get from this song. It's just kind of like go, let's get pumped up, man. And so I don't know. I mean, like honestly, I might have to actually dig into like maybe the rest of this album just to see if I can find some more tracks. But
this whole album, Mutiny, is like, at least for me, and sure I'm quite biased because it's such a nostalgia album for me, but it's like top to bottom, just a really solid album. If you can get away, like if you can deal with the recording quality.
Fair enough. Nick, how'd you feel about this Set Your Goals track?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I saw To Be Continued, and I immediately thought of Schmouter. So overall, for this song, I'd say not enough Serpent King.
Fair enough.
That's true.
But in actuality, I totally forgot Set Your Goals existed. I remember blasting around in either Rex's truck or your truck listening to these guys, and I'm super stoked to be able to listen to them again because I totally forgot about them. This song was a lot of fun. It was, I feel like this one in particular was less punk, or it was less pop and more punk, and it even leaned in a little harder to the hardcore punk without even diving into the easycore genre, which obviously sounds like gibberish to anyone but me. But it was a lot of fun. I was super stoked to hear this part again. Oh my god, the recording quality. It was kind of garbagey, but I loved it. Like there's a part, I think it's either right before the breakdown or right after it, but there's like a part where the guitar is just hard pan left and right.
Yeah,
it's just the most mid 2000s recording technique for guitar music, and I cracked up. It was a fucking throwback and a blast to listen to. Overall, this song's a banger. It's a win.
It's a wiener. Dusty, how about you?
Not a loser on this playlist, so
Fair.
I'm saying a lot of the same things.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. I also saw To Be Continued. I was like, wait, when did we get on Spotify?
That would be a weird moment. Who put us on there?
Who did this?
You know, String Lights could do a pop punk cover of our To Be Continued.
Ooh,
that would be fucking awesome.
That's a possibility.
But no, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I was similar to Nick. Like I never really, like, I didn't remember Set Your Goals at all. It is honestly, it's not even popped up on any of my like daily playlists, even though I have a lot of pop punk on there. It was very surprising to me. So, but no, it's a solid song and get you going for the playlist.
I agree. Caleb, I knew this was going to be a winner for you just right away.
Well, we all know I don't love pop punk. I used to listen to it when I was a youngster, and I found, my additions were from old days of my life. But I remember this band. I don't really have any nostalgia towards them. I don't mind it, honestly. I realized with this playlist that pop punk is not my favorite to listen to, but I don't mind it. But ska is what truly makes me angry. Fair. So that that was a positive thing. Just getting the silver lining there.
So how'd that reflect onto the Set Your Goals track?
Oh, sorry, yeah, the weeds.
Oh, you're good.
It's good. My only complaint is, like with most like kind of punk music, is the over enunciation. I don't know. I know it's a style, and it's like, it's just part of it, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really my only gripe with this song. I don't know it. But it has good energy. I like the kind of hardcore, flavoring that's going on. It wasn't bad. It was fine.
Yeah, that's great. You started off with the it's fine, and
we'll get there.
That's more than I thought. Yeah, you know, I'm kind of taken aback, Caleb, that you just said that you don't mind pop punk as much as you once did. That's
it depends.
I'll give it to you, Caleb. Like listening to this list, goddamn, like it is very like there's not a lot of difference in pop punk. Like it is all real fucking similar. But to say like it just has that right energy, it gets you fucking going, and I'm all for it, man.
I'm here for it. So that takes us to Coffee at Midnight by Stand Atlantic. I believe that's a Flannery track, a Flannery pick.
That is one of mine. So I found Stand Atlantic. I think it was just it popped up in a Spotify algorithm, so that was pretty cool. I've found as we get older, it's harder for us to find new music to listen to, especially new stuff that we find good. That is good. So I've been really leaning into some more modern ways of finding new music, and this was a winner. I really like this song. I discovered it during like a brutal breakup, and it worked real well for that period of time because it's about the singer, like she's not letting go of this last relationship, and she just wants to keep trying to talk it out. It's not obviously it's not working. But I looked up this band out of curiosity, and the reason I put it on here is just to share her story. But the singer of this band decided to be a pop punk singer because she went and saw Avril Lavigne in concert when she was like 12 years old and was like, "Yep, that's what I'm gonna do."
Fuck yeah,
dude, that's actually pretty cool.
What the fuck?
And she's got a kick-ass voice. Her lyrics are awesome. The mix is good. They're just a good band. They've got a bunch of really new songs out. This is one of their older, bigger hits, but they've got a new album out that's really good, really worth listening to.
Fair enough, man. Yeah, I really like the fucking driving punk beat in this song. Like it really, like I love a good punk beat, and it just like there's multiple sections of the song where that just kind of just drives everything. And there was a couple. I will say I was gonna mention, Caleb, I'm kind of with you. Like one of my bones that I have to pick with this genre is the enunciation stuff. This song does have a really kind of funny enunciation. I don't want to say goodbye. I was like doing that to people at work all day. I was like, goodbye.
So they're an Australian band. So yeah, they're an Australian band. That's why for the enunciation on that one.
Pop punk.
That's exactly why.
The pop punk.
Well.
Yeah, it works really well for pop punk, I guess, with that accent, but. No, overall, like I actually really dug this song too. It's hard to find a stinker on this list, like you guys have already mentioned, and so, you know, I gotta give it a pass for me. It's a decent track, man. I'm probably gonna cue it up again. But Dusty, how about you, man?
I've discovered them similar to the way Nick did, where just Spotify just threw this on a daily mix, and I never skip it because I think it's very catchy. And you know, I'm not a huge fan of like the Paramore types, which this reminds me quite a bit of. But I don't know, I would prefer this over Paramore, I would say.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's catchier. You know, it's not as, it is still poppy, but it's not, I feel like, you know, as overly, you know, super mainstream or anything like that. So I give it an 8.
Yeah, like if Warped Tour is still going on, they'd probably be playing a stage.
Oh, for sure. I bet they're gonna play it when we were young.
Oh god damn!
If they've been around that long.
if anyone plays at that show.
Yo, by the way, I don't know who's organizing
show?
That festival. We still haven't gotten our press passes, so
well, that'd be so
fuck we were young. We should just
fuck Live Nation.
Punk bitches. Caleb,
I honestly don't feel like what are you gonna call alt press? Nah, fuck them. Get UFR on there.
Exactly.
We're gonna give you the most unbiased, accurate reporting.
We are the authority now.
To corn dog recipes that anyone will get.
They just finished their set and it was fine. That's it.
Yeah, kind of whiny. Pretty cool guitars though.
I like this is getting so meta because we're making fun of ourselves.
They didn't age into the skinny jeans that well.
Oh no!
I promise to make homemade corn dogs and hand them out to every artist coming off stage, though.
Yes.
So
That's why we should be there right now. The artists want us.
Yeah.
They want our corn dogs.
Start making those tempura corn dogs. That's our signature.
This
You
signature
can make
tempura
vegan
corn
spring
dog.
rolls if anybody swings that way.
You could
Perfect.
You could
We're
put the
going.
spring rolls
Why don't we do
in
it?
tempura, deep fry them, and then put them on a stick.
I was just thinking that's brilliant, Nick. That's fucking. There we go. Another
was also
snack
talk-
innovation for the.
There was talk at one point about beer cheese soup with mini corn dogs floating in the top. So,
Oh goddamn
I
right.
mean, handing out soup at the end of a show is probably not.
In
Some
Vegas,
soup. It's
Vegas when
cheesy.
it's 80 degrees.
Here's cheese soup.
You guys want a nice, fun snack for the mosh pit?
Beer cheese
Boiling
soup.
hot cheese soup.
Oh, make sure you get plenty of mini corn dogs in there. You just grab a handful, throw them on top. There you go.
We'll get on stage and just throw mini corn dogs at the crowd.
Dude, that'd be great. It's like, oh man, I'm just okay. We're in the weeds so hard, but this is all right because these are, like I said, these are great ideas, and we're still waiting for our press passes. So
These are the days of our lives.
Important
it is relevant to some
can't
degree.
afford to stifle the creativity. It's too important.
It is. And getting into it, then I guess Caleb, I need your input on the how you felt about this.
Standard Atlantic.
The Stand Atlantic.
So I've never heard of them, but I really enjoyed this song. The lady is a very good singer. She's got the dirt. She can belt.
Oh yeah. It's right in.
The chord progressions throughout were really good and melodic. The guitar tone was good. I really liked it. I mean, yeah, I know it leans kind of pop punk, but
It is a pop punk playlist.
it makes sense, That's where we're at.
We're all like,
But
God, it's a little pop punky, but
But like, I don't know. I think it's like it's it's there, but it's not like so much for me that like, oh, this could be a pop song on the radio too, and not be too much for people who aren't into that. The bridge was fantastic. The chord progression of the bridge, all the harmonies at the end. This was like, I'd say this was like top of the list for me. I was really surprised at how good it was.
dang all. Dang all. Jameson, how about you, man?
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of echo what everyone said. I think it definitely leaned a little heavy into the pop section in the chorus, but it just comes right back at you during the verse with like those heavy punk tones and stuff, and just pulls you out of that. Like I was kind of drifting away from it, but then it pulls you right back into the muck, and it's a banger, and it made it onto my daily list. So
Nice.
it's a win for sure.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Well, 2 wins so far. Let's see if we can keep it up. We got an Mxpx song next. This is Caleb. You dropped this one, Life Story, My Life Story.
Did.
Yeah, MXPX has appeared already once on the podcast. I think that was on Luke's playlist, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Why'd you pick this one, Caleb?
So this was like my first, like when I was really young, like maybe like 7, 8 years old, and my brother and I were allowed to listen to Mxpx because they were on Tooth and Nail, which was a Christian label. So, and they were like, positive and upbeat enough that my parents didn't see it as demonic or something.
Play
And
it
yeah, like
backwards,
they're just so like this is what like this is really formative, nostalgic music for me. And I mean they're Washington natives. They're from Bremerton, so that was always a cool little thing. I never got to see them, but I've heard they're lovely gents. But yeah, this is like the quintessential childhood song, in my opinion, where it's like I really started to care about music because I was hearing music that wasn't just like from church or whatever, and it was like, oh, like there's other stuff out here, and I like guitars and music. And yeah, it was kind of the beginning of, honestly, like my entire taste in music. We've gone a little off the rails from here, but this is where it started.
Slightly.
Where you went straight from MXPX just to Igor, Himalayan Massive Ritual.
And Born Ashore, and yeah. we went for a walk.
For a walk. Well, I guess, Caleb, that's just your life story.
Aha.
Nick's face. Well, yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest, the more I keep digging back into MXPX, the more I kind of enjoy it. And I remember, again, you know, they were kind of one of those bands, like, I feel like most people had like a loose familiarity with. They had heard an MXPX song. If you were really into, like, I feel like you guys remember, like, what was his fucking name? Peter Pascasio. Whoever him and whoever he hung out with, they're probably really into MXPX also.
Oh, they were.
Wasn't he in that Yesterday Never Came band?
I can't. No, I don't. Well, I can't rightly say. I got kicked out of that band like right away. So, like that was what I don't think. I think Zach quickly was like, you don't bring anything.
Finally leave.
I don't even care. I worked at Dairy Queen with that guy. He was a dick.
Oh man,
fuck that guy.
Hey, we got to get him on the podcast sometime,
I liked him.
man. We got to.
Good guy.
I really wonder. I was thinking about him. I was thinking about him the other day. I was like, I wonder what he would put together for a pod. I guarantee you, Dusty wouldn't like it. but it'd
Are we
be
talking about
interesting.
Peter Pascasio or
Zach.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no,
wait.
I love Zach. I'm talking about Peter.
Oh, I'm glad
Zach's fine.
I'm glad we clarified that because I was talking about Zach again for some reason.
Oh,
Sorry.
No,
Okay.
no,
I
Zach's
like
great.
Zach's music. Some of it.
We're also weeds.
Unless it's not-
This is
What
why
is this, like, techno?
this is a perfect
We'll get
moment.
Zach on.
Dweeds. Okay. Dweeds. Don't get in the Dweeds.
Zach,
Oh, wait,
if
get
you're
me.
listening, I have no beef with you. We hung out a lot. You're cool, dude.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
I'm
It'd
not
be-
a fan of you, Peter Pascasio. Fuck you.
Oh no.
Listen, Peter took his work at Dairy Queen very seriously, and maybe he just didn't appreciate the Berry Blizzard.
I had my own secret menu when I worked there. I mean, we can go into that if you'd like, but that's some deep weeds.
Just remember
We'll
the
sit on.
Chocopocalypse.
We'll save that for another time.
Apocalypse.
Oh my god. I'm fucking. Who are we at? Where are we at? We're on my life story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of it?
I'm giving it another pass because it's good. It's another good one for me, man. Because I've ever since Luke's playlist, I've been kind of listening to him a little bit more anyway. So I like this pick, Caleb, and I agree with you. Like they were kind of some parents would be cool with you listening to them more, more than other bands. We'll just say it. I definitely get that sentiment.
It's either
but-
this or Behemoth.
One swing or another. Jameson, how about you though? How'd you feel about MXPX here?
It's a good track, but Caleb, I'd just like to say, if you added some fucking horns to this is ska music. Just so you know. I mean,
Well, good thing there's no fucking horns then, right?
It doesn't have any upstrokes in it, and I think you need the upstrokes for ska.
it's pretty fucking close.
Because
But-
you don't even
is
necessarily
close. I
need
think it's
horns in ska.
Well, I'm not here to argue
As long as it's in between two songs that do have horns.
but on this song, they're fun. And MXPX, I saw them at Warped Tour one year. It was pretty cool. Like, I think they played the last year they were at the Gorge in like the middle of the day on the main stage, which was cool. But yeah, I got no qualms with MXPX or this song.
Fair enough. Would you say you have more qualms with Peter than you do with MXPX?
Absolutely.
Peter?
We're gonna get him on here for a grudge match.
Nick, what about you, man? How do you feel about MXPX overall, and how this song in general also? Wow.
Well, MXPX is a great band. They're classic. But I gotta say, like, for someone who hates pop punk as much as he does, Caleb has pretty good taste in it,
I know.
which was very surprising to me. He kept warning us that he was going to struggle to come up with anything at all, and what he came up with was obvious, like, really good choice. I mean, it's that classic era of pop punk that we all grew up with. It's like what Blink would describe as that, lullaby with a punk beat, and it just fits the mood. It's, if you want pop punk, MXPX is what you want, and it's just a good song. So,
Yeah.
Caleb, I don't think you hate pop punk. I think you like pop punk, and you're just being cranky about it.
No.
You need to refocus.
No.
Yo,
I am
don't
cranky.
make Mr. Flannery refocus you. Okay.
I don't know what that means, but I'm
I'm
not
gonna-
fucking worried about it.
You're gonna have to pull a card on the wall over there.
Over there.
I'll
Dusty,
show you where you can put that card.
What are your
4 cards? We'll send you to the principal's office.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dusty? What are your thoughts on Mxpx?
Same sentiment as Jameson. You know, they're just a solid pop punk band. You know, I believe I first heard them probably on a motocross video game of some sort, or that, or like maybe a Dave Mira's BMX.
Oh, BMX.
One of the two.
That was a solid PlayStation game.
Yeah, I mean, they for sure would have been on one of those. I know they weren't on the first two Tony Hawks, but definitely were in a motocross game. But yeah, it's just, you know, classic. I figured they would be on here. I mean, you can't have pop punk playlists without them, or a couple others that are coming up. So
Yeah, I'm glad Caleb got the OGs on the playlist. Everybody else went kind of off in the road, but I think Caleb and Jared both went with some OG picks. So
I'm glad for that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess Mxpx passes the test again. They won't. We will. UFR will maintain loyalty to Mxpx to some degree, I suppose. Weed Tent is the next track, though. I'm gonna stop talking before I continue to say stupid things. Weed Tent by the Sidekicks. Dusty, this song is very pleasant. Where'd you pull it?
Another Spotify daily mix thing. I think it might have been on a Manchester inspired daily list, but
Checks out.
I don't know. They whenever this song comes on, I never skip it. It's very pleasant, and it's kind. I mean, I wouldn't say it's completely pop punk. It's kind of that genre, that, you know, maybe a fusion of pop punk and alternative, kind of like Band of Horses vibes for sure.
Yeah,
but a little bit more poppy than Band of Horses. So I don't know. It's just a tune I thoroughly enjoy, and yeah. It's a Weed Tent.
It's the Weed Tent. Well, I find myself in the Weed Tent. I definitely, you know, I enjoyed this song. It was an easy song to get lost in and wrapped up in. That was on the playlist, you know. So I really appreciate that. I had never heard it before. There's quite a few tracks I completely have apparently missed, as always. But yeah, I definitely think this will be kind of another rotation, plugged into the rotation for me kind of song. So. Nick, how about you, man? How do you feel about the Sidekicks?
Well, I really enjoyed it. So this song, it may not have been like the most pop punk song on there. I think, Dusty, you're right. It has a lot of elements of it. It has a lot of elements of Midwest emo, of indie rock. It definitely has that Band of Horses vibe too. But it also checks enough blocks of the pop punk genre that it fits on this playlist super well, and it adds this really nice down-tempo element to the playlist overall. Like, I think I mentioned it earlier, but I've been listening to this playlist a lot more than some of the other ones that we've done. It's a really good playlist, and I think this is a crucial element of that. I really enjoyed this song. Maybe it wasn't the most off-topic, but I am also really glad that we did find like a lot more down-tempo one to put on here. So this was a great one to listen to. Also, I really want to figure out that guy's guitar tone. That sounded fantastic.
The fuzz.
Yeah.
Good fuzz.
That's super natural, like warm tube breakup on that guitar tone. Ooh.
Jameson, what about you?
I don't know about this one, man. I would say this is like my idea was indie pop is what I would call it, less pop punk, and it was missing that energy that the rest of the playlist has, which Nick's saying that he needs. I didn't need it in this playlist. And I would have dug this a lot more if it was like a 3-minute song. But man, after minute 3, like minute 3 to 5.5, I was like, just fucking end already. God damn it. So I would like a gavel on this one, please.
Yeah, it's there.
Dang.
Caleb, how you gonna follow that?
I kind of agree with Jameson and everyone else at the same time. Like,
Weak,
this is not
cowardice.
No, listen, just
Take a stand.
I'm gonna sit on this fence for a minute. Hang on, I'm comfortable up here.
Splinters in
You
your
know,
butthole.
yeah, exactly. You know what happens when you sit on a fence? Bad things.
It's a barbed wire fence.
Okay, I'm gonna get off the fence. I don't think this is pop punk. I don't, but it's not bad for what it is. But yeah, it's like it's a nice little reprieve from like energy. But when I think of pop punk, I agree with Jameson. Like, it's just missing. Like, if they just had thrown the quintessential, I use using that word a lot, pop punk or just punk beat in there, you know, that would have kind of like sold me a little more. But I mean, it's not bad. It's way too fucking long. The guitar tone's great. But I would not, if this was a blind test and someone's like, what would you call this? The pop punk is the last thing, but it's fine.
It's fine. Hey, in the end, you still think it's fine, and that's fine. Yeah,
it's an odd one out.
Well, I'm
Caleb
glad.
likes Tame Impala. He's bound to like the weird odd one like this.
Yeah, I do. So I mean, I like it in that way, but
good reframing.
It's good because it's not pop punk. Maybe that's what I should say.
It's like it's like you either like pineapple on pizza or you don't. But you like pineapple, but maybe you don't like it on a pizza.
Exactly, and I feel that way.
Well, anyone who feels that way is a fucking idiot, because pineapple on pizza is very, very needed.
It's
Jameson, 100%. I'm with you.
Goat.
The best pizza, period, is Canadian bacon, pineapple, and jalapeno.
Yep.
Is the best pizza in the entire world.
Boom, boom.
Absolutely not.
Dude, you feeling randy? Throw some pepperoni on there. All right.
Oh
my
God.
God.
Done that.
Pepperoni and the jalapeno with the pineapple and the
Die.
Canadian
I'm gonna
bacon.
roll
Get a
over
little
and fucking smother myself with my own shit.
my own shit.
Well,
I'm dying
kid's
huffing my
clearly-
own jenkum.
I think it's 3 against 2, and the council. It's 3 against 2 here, and the council has decreed that pineapple on pizza is bullshit. You've been outvoted. Sit down.
Whoa.
appears the kids are not all right.
Thank you, Dusty. You're right. We do have to get back to that. The next track is one of my picks. The Offspring. The kids are all right. Aren't all right. Excuse me. Wow, I bunked that up. The one job I had. Anyway, this is definitely like in hindsight, well, put like with all of my tracks, I was like, I don't know how well they fit into this list, but I had to put it in context of like all of my songs are from different eras of pop punk than are what's current, and so at some point they were like kind of popular representations of like their music, I suppose. So anyway, the Offspring. I've always had an affinity for the Offspring. I'm one of those. I remember it wasn't this album. It was the album that came out after this one. My older brother had, like, I just remember like him fucking jamming that in his car. That always led me to like kind of exploring them more. But and I remember seeing them at Warped Tour at least twice.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah.
you know, they're just kind of a staple. Then I don't know if they're like I said, I don't know if this is full on like pop punk or not, but I guess I'd have to leave that up to the council. Nick, give me your opinions on the Offspring.
I'm gonna say, I'm so many of us were introduced to the Offspring in a way that we may not remember, but maybe at an arcade or maybe on your Sega at some point you played the game Crazy Taxi, but the Offspring did the entire soundtrack to that game, and that game is fucking sick, and so is that soundtrack. My one negative opinion of the Offspring is that pretty much every single song of theirs sounds exactly the same to me. However, I like that song, so I'm gonna keep listening to it. They're a great band. They're super fun. They just have this. They feel like summer in the '90s.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
Yeah, dude. It feels like throwing your skate down and like hitting the pavement and going to go like see where the fuck the evening's taking you in the middle of July. Like
Headed down to Aladdin's castle.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
dude,
Stop by the arcade,
Tokens.
the Godfather's Pizza.
dude.
Hey, that's still there.
Next time I'm in town,
Still open.
gotta hit the Godfather's Pizza.
Are we going? Oh yes.
Gotta hit that buffet.
They better have an original Soul Calibur machine in there that was never updated.
Dude, they straight up, they used to have that like 5-player X-Men arcade game. Like the whole like big fucking
Dude.
unit.
Wait,
I
isn't
played
there
that
a
on-
barcade in it's either Tacoma or Olympia that has that game?
There's one in Tacoma. It's called Dorkies.
Yeah.
Dorkies
in there for sure.
Pretty legit. Either way, more Offspring. Jameson, how about you, man? How'd you feel about this song?
I love this song. This was already on my liked playlist. I've always spun this song. My brother had this album, back in the day when you had a giant CD case with all sorts of things, and I would always sneak into his room and steal this album specifically. And I think this is the best song on that whole album. Like, this is the same one that has Pretty Fly for a White Guy and some of the other ones. Mm-hmm. But this has a little bit of a deeper, darker vibe to it than the other stuff. And I do think this is pop punk. Like, it's not as I think Blink is probably like the OG pop punk band, but Offspring still has those same kind of tonal aspects to it. So this is definitely a winner for me.
Fuck yeah. Dusty, how about you, man?
Oh, I've always loved this song. I love the Offspring. I mean, people make fun of them and they don't care but I don't know, it reminds me of watching skate videos back in the day. And I have one fond memory of seeing them at Bumbershoot in 2008 or 9. And at one point, because they played out on the football field on the main place. And one point they were crowd surfing this guy in a wheelchair. It was crazy. But they played at 2:00 in the afternoon. It was just, everybody was there. It was a great time. But yeah, I mean, I would consider this pop punk in its era.
Okay.
The later albums were more, I think, rock but this whole album's, I remember it when it came out. Pretty Fly for a White Guy was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the whole album's really good if you listen through it all the way through. So, but yeah, I'll never hate on this. Great song.
Caleb, how about yourself?
I don't really have any real problem with the Offspring, but it's not something I really ever got super into. Just like you guys, I remember my older brother having this CD, and it was a thing we had to keep secret, and he would listen to it, when no one was around or whatever. So that was kind of fun, but I never stole this from him. I think I just went straight for System of a Down, but by this time I was already trying to get on that heavy shit.
System of a Down.
Oh, you know it. Drop C. Yeah. Anyway,
Drop C is heavy.
It is heavy. I know.
Don't you dare.
No, it was the heaviest shit I've ever heard. But I mean, I'm familiar with this, but I don't other than hearing it kind of on my peripheral. I don't have nostalgia for it. I don't mind it, but I'm also Nick's right. All those songs sound the same. That's fine, but I'm gonna pass.
But no gavel.
No gavel.
All right. We maintain.
We're making it pretty far.
We've made it pretty far. We've only had one gavel thus far. Well, next up we got Nothing Left by Action Adventure. Jameson, this takes us back to you.
Yeah. So, as Amy would say, I deep dived for this one. When I said we should do this playlist, I initially thought, I'll just add Neck Deep or some of the other bands that I'd been introduced through the podcast. I was I think I should go a little deeper than that. So Action Adventure is not a band that I was super familiar with. But I was listening to different playlists and looking through different artist rankings and stuff of popular pop punk bands, and these guys popped up. And this just has the kind of energy that I look for in a pop punk band. And they're a newer band, and I also thought it was kind of cool that every member of this band is a minority, which I thought was really kind of cool from a genre that is typically seen as I don't know, stoner white guys
White
or
dude.
like surfer white dudes. Like, this is a very white genre, and to see a band of all minorities is pretty cool. And they definitely hold up, you know, musically, so or whatever. Fuck. So, yeah,
No, that's
banger of a
cool.
track.
I agree with you, man. Like, I actually, this is probably one of the contenders for top tracks for me. I really like this fucking song. I had never heard of Action Adventure before, but Nick, in the group text, you kind of alluded to like having known about them. Overall, I like I said, I really dug it. But Nick is somebody else who's kind of familiar. What do you think about this song?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna flag myself as being fucking lame, but I discovered these guys on TikTok as a 31-year-old man.
They're on TikTok.
But yeah. But no, I found them in it was some TikTok, it was some guy listing, because obviously you're gonna find racists on the internet, and they really like to leave dumbass comments on people's videos, and like they were insulting this guy for not being white and trying to trying to be a pop punk singer, which is what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
And I think he just like started listing all of these bands that were like, hey, by the way, we've been here the whole time, we never left, and we're gonna be here forever. So, well, as long as pop punk's around, that's probably not forever.
Punk will never die.
Punk will never die. Pop punk will certainly die.
Yeah.
No, it won't.
There's a definitive clip that will happen there eventually.
I mean, doo-wop didn't die.
I mean,
That's true.
Is there any modern doo-wop bands?
I mean, the
Not
most
that I
modern
found
doo-wop
yet.
was that I've listened to is
Jasper brought
probably
some.
or the works of the what was that band? The Toe Tappers, man. The South Miller Street Toe Tappers.
Can I formally request right now on record that we never do a doo-wop playlist, because like no.
Well, I had it ready to go, but okay.
God damn it.
Erase it.
Yeah, just delete it, Dusty. It was not even worth it, apparently. Anyway, out of the weeds and back into this adventure.
Okay. What I was saying, it was super cool. So these guys, they're like, it was he just listed off like just a ton of bands that like feature like entirely persons of color or people of color as primary members of the band. So these guys popped up. I found them. They just sounded really kick-ass. Another band that popped up was Magnolia Park. So if you want to find something that it's kind of like this, but it even incorporates some elements of EDM. I think they even used trap beats at some point, but it's pretty cool stuff. But this band was a lot of fun. I am a big fan of their song "Tuck Everlasting" just because it reminds me of that fucking book.
Wasn't that a really shitty movie too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they made a movie
girl
out
from
of it.
Gilmore Girls was in it.
That's right.
God, it was.
The Gilmore Girl was in there.
Hey, can I just ask Jared real quick? Weren't you like obsessed with that show when we were younger?
Gilmore
You watched
Girls?
that a lot?
You're thinking of Katie.
Gilmore
No,
Girls.
you watched a show like that. You told me like I love that show. I'm like, what?
I don't
thought it was
know.
Gilmore
I'm not.
Girls or something.
Are you
Anyway,
thinking of
I'm
the
not
other
familiar.
L word?
I'm not familiar with the Gilmore Girls. Although I was thinking, branching off of this conversation, maybe we should start a Gilmore Girls podcast.
Watch along. We all watch it for the first time.
I've seen
seen
just
it.
about all of it. I think I could contribute.
Oh,
You've
the
seen
resident
all of it.
expert.
I have a mother and a sister, man.
I've seen quite a bit of it myself.
I've seen it.
I've seen probably like a handful of things from it. Anyway, this isn't about Gilmore Girls. If you want a Gilmore Girls podcast, hit us up online. You can find us on Instagram at Old Heart Radio. There you go. There's a plug. Okay, made it into a plug. We're good. And where the fuck were we though? Nick, are you all done? Did you finish your thoughts? You liked this song?
It's good music. It's good pop punk. The guitar chords the chord progressions they choose are really they're interesting. They're not like the same 4-chord song bullshit that we heard before. They've got really cool chord progressions. Their beats, their dynamics are all really exciting. They're really fun to listen to. I was gonna put them on either this playlist or our Up and Comers playlist, but JMO beat me to it. So now I get a new Up and Comer.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Caleb, how'd you feel about the action adventure?
it kind of reminds me of like a more energetic version of like Taking Back Sunday. And like,
I like
yeah, like
that.
it's not like just the typical like chord progressions. Like the dynamics were good. The recording quality was really good. You know, it really had a punch, like the bass drum with all the, you know, guitar rhythms and stuff. And it, you know, obviously it definitely sounds like pop punk, but it's different enough and dynamic enough that it didn't like totally just bore me to tears. The singing's like, yeah, it's pop punk, and you know, granted that is my least favorite part of the genre. But he's a good singer, and I did not hate this song.
Fair enough. I agree with you. I like the dynamics that you kind of have in the song. It's not just, I don't know, it's just interesting. It captures your attention. Dusty, how about you though?
No, I enjoyed this. Is, you know, just more, you know, the modern day take on pop punk. You know, I feel like it's not as rushed as it used to be, and I don't know, maybe the, you know, from the instrument side, it's a little bit more technical than, you know, your typical. Here's our 3 chords, then the you know, chorus, bridge, whatever. So it's, no, I just enjoyed this. I didn't know about the whole diversity thing, so that's cool. Another band, pop punk band that diverse, Sum 41. Their lead guitar player, I believe, is Pakistani guy.
Dude.
Yeah, he was mentioned in that video that
Mm-hmm.
was on TikTok that I watched as an adult man.
As an adult man. But yeah, no, I like this. I'll have to check out more of it. It's a solid 8.
Nice. They earned themselves 8.
The infinite loop. We don't know what the denominator of this fraction is, so
It could be good.
It
It
could
could
be
be
8.
bad.
It's
8 over 8.
I
That's
got
one.
a
and
solid
that's
8
bad.
out of 8.
Could be a 7.
Well, the next track I believe belongs to Mr. Flannery, "Overstepping" by Belmont.
Yes. I discovered these guys actually from an Alex Melton video. He was parodying their style, and I was like, oh, okay, this is a great place to find music. I found just quite a few bands that way, actually. Actually, some of the other songs I put on this playlist I discovered from that Alex Melton video, so that's cool. I don't remember which one it was, unfortunately. But Belmont is a really cool band. They're from some town. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention when I read their Wikipedia article or whatever.
They're from a town.
But this song's this song's a lot of fun. The music video for it is kick-ass. It's just some guys with Telecasters and like P basses or jazz basses or whatever they picked up at a pawn shop. They're just jamming the shit out of like the front yard of their college house or something. But this song's just a lot of fun. It's got the just fast, complex riffs, the breakdowns, the vocals are really kick-ass in this song. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. Oh, side note, actually, these guys just flipped their van over outside Salt Lake City, Utah. So if there are any corn dogs out there that want to donate to their GoFundMe, they've almost met their goal already, but let's get these boys back on the road.
Damn, dude. Yeah. Hopefully everybody was unharmed. But
oh yeah, everyone was fine, but I mean the van wasn't, their stuff wasn't.
Yeah, that fucking blows. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I bet that they would put on a fun set, like, to check out, because I really enjoyed the song. Like, it's got some pop punk songs are just a little boring, and like this one has a lot to pay attention to, I think. And I really dug this. This was one that I was like, I'm definitely gonna check more into Belmont. So, fuck yeah, good call there. Dusty, how'd you feel about Belmont?
I think it echoes similar take on what I had in the last song, where it's a little bit more complicated than, you know, your typical setup of a song, you know, older pop punk, where this one's focusing a lot more on the technical aspects of the instruments, and there's a lot more going on, which is a nice change up, you know, because if you listen to a whole playlist of pop punk, sometimes it's nice to have some variety, some change other than your typical song structure. So this is a good, you know, I like the guitar, pretty good. I'll have to check more of this out.
Yeah, I agree. They seem like it'd be worth following up. Jameson, what about you, my friend?
For sure. I think these guys are definitely on the technical end of things. It's almost like math pop punk. Like the guitars were way more technical than anything you normally see. The drum beats were almost on the brutal end of the spectrum, which was really cool.
I love the drumming.
Yeah, I think this is probably top contender for my favorite on the playlist. Like, it wasn't a band that I had heard of before, and I'll definitely be digging deeper.
Hell yeah. Caleb, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, really just more of the same. Like, it's interesting. It's busy. I like the math. I don't know, like, I'm not bored listening to it, but I have to say I would prefer if it was instrumental, because that's just how I feel about, punk vocals. They're not bad, and the melodies are good, but like, it's also a compliment to the, like, everyone playing instruments is like, it's interesting and good enough, like, where just instrumental like version of it would be totally cool to listen to. It's really good.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Wow.
I've heard these guys described before as this is Blink 182 if all of the members were like Travis Barker.
Oh damn, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're all like the experts. Really good instruments.
Well, that just takes us right into the next song, man. Blink 182. My God, feeling this, man. Caleb.
Yeah,
you did it.
I did it. I was kind of like, do I pick this one? Because this is kind of like when Blink 182 took a turn and they became less of their, like, really classic early pop punk vibe. It's more pop for sure. But I remember getting this album in like the 7th grade and being like I love this album. Like, it's super nostalgic for me. I think it's a huge evolution for them as a band. I personally think it's their best work. And it's the one that's the most nostalgic for me. It's dynamic and, different enough, like this song specifically, that it's like, oh, this isn't just a, basic pop punk song. I'm feeling this. There's something going on.
Nah, dude, I mean, I can't knock it. I'm also feeling this. I always like, I don't have a problem with the song. I'll definitely like gladly leave it on if somebody puts it on, You're right, though. I remember, I feel like they put this album out, so they had done like all of their like punk rock shit that like, like leading up to this. And then this album came out, and it was like, to me, it was like, you guys remember when Sum 41 made Chuck? And it was like this was like in the same vein where it was like Blink 182 was kind of attempting to like sort of bridge the gap between their punk rock base and like the burgeoning emo popularity that was happening, like the overall, like, umbrella genre title, but like that's what was starting to happen to some of those bands, like in this period of time. I feel like they were starting to have to cater to like a different fan base, and this was like, the next song, like one of the other songs on this album, was that moody ass like Miss You,
Miss You. There was Always.
Great song.
Violence was another one.
So, and then not that they didn't have precedent for it, because there was like, anyway, this isn't an exclusive Blink 182 podcast, but it's an interesting time and place for the band that this whole album came out, I think. And this song, though, like you said, though, it's a nostalgic kind of feel you always get when you jam this if you're our age, I feel like. So can't pass it up. But Jameson, how do you feel about this Blink 182 song?
So I can't really ever say anything bad about Blink 182. And I made the argument with people who are around our age that, in my opinion, I think Blink 182 is maybe the most influential band of our generation. And that might sound crazy, but there isn't really our modern pop punk without Blink 182. And most of modern punk music, just in general, minus the pop, it isn't there without Blink 182.
I agree.
I think it's just a fun band, and people kind of shit on them nowadays. I've heard different people will say, whatever, they're generic, it's lame music, but it's fucking fun to listen to. And I almost took one of their songs, Bored to Death, off of I think their album California came out in like 2016. I almost put that on here because I love that track too. So
they reunited, I think.
Yeah. So it's a good pick. You couldn't have a pop punk band without a Blink song.
Fair enough. Dusty, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I love this song. This whole album was really good. It was, I remember it being their last one, then they broke up or whatever. And you could tell like one of the songs that Tom DeLonge was the singer on. Like you could see there was this very like, I feel like the album's like separated. You have like the Tom songs and then the Mark Hoppus songs that are like more the old school Blink, more punk, because he came out with Plus 44 right afterwards. And like you could tell where Tom DeLonge was like getting the Angels and Airwaves vibes on some of that stuff, which I mean, Angels and Airwaves is okay, but it was, I always preferred like the Mark Hoppus stuff, honestly. But I don't know, this song's always, it still comes on the radio all the time, on the station I listen to at least, and I thoroughly enjoy it. It reminds me of, Troy would do this really weird lispy voice, like the old man from Family Guy.
Yeah.
And he would sing the chorus line in that voice. It just creeped me out. Because like that's great. Because he always listened to Blink. And Blink would come on, and this song would come on, and he would do that voice. I'm like, oh my god, that's such a creep. Classic Troy there.
Yeah, for real. Oh my god. Yeah. Nick, what about you, man?
I feel a little left out on this. As much pop punk as I listen to and as much as I enjoy the genre, I really have never dived that deeply into Blink. I also didn't grow up with them. They just weren't on my radar growing up. So
what you should do is find their live album, like the Mark, Tom, and Travis show.
Oh my god! Oh, dude, the Mark, Tom, and Travis show.
That's just gonna cover all the basics and just, I don't know, you just kind of get lost in like their humor, and I don't know, would have been fantastic to see that. But
I'm gonna have to check that out because, I mean, I also never really bothered to do it now, and when in my spare time or when I've been exploring music, because I just kind of feel like if I'm listening to pop punk, I'm just gonna hear Blink 182 often enough that I won't have to look for it. And I'm right, it's always around.
Yeah, no, and I still go back and listen to Enema of the State. That entire album, like every song is fantastic. So
yeah, it's good. Once again, for someone who doesn't like pop punk, Caleb has really good taste in it. And this is exactly what we were talking about earlier. This is that lullaby with a punk beat.
Yeah,
it's very archetypical of the genre.
Well, and like honestly, in re-listening to like Tom's vocals sound so similar to like how pop punk vocals kind of like that trend kind of continues. You know what I mean? Like it gets kind of like it's kind of interesting just to see like traces of Blink in like nowadays in the future. I feel like here in the future.
Back to the Future.
But that
Back to the Future box set,
dude,
I'm gonna have to watch those.
I fucking love Back to the
Skip
Future.
number 3. I don't care for number 3.
You could skip it, but if you want to wrap up if you want to do the whole series, you gotta watch it. But if you're just going for like some like Back to the Future entertainment, yeah, definitely pick 1 or 2 for sure. But you can't fucking top it. Well, you can, but Back to the Future is so much fun. Either way. So this takes us to a Dusty track, but Dusty, I had to clarify this. So this is One Week by Blink 182, or no, 1 Week, the Blink 182 version by Alex Melton. So is it Alex Melton covering Blink 182, covering the song?
Blink never did a version of this.
So, but Alex Melton
he's impersonating Blink 182,
okay,
covering Bare Naked Ladies.
His thing is
fucking wild.
He's got his own original music, but he usually does like a pop punk cover or like a country cover of a very popular song, and he's like super talented. He's fantastic at it, and so I was like, well, I knew there was gonna be Blink-182 on here, and so I didn't want to put that on there. So like, well, this would be the next best thing. Alex Melton, Blink-182 cover of a Bare Naked Ladies song. It's like Inception of music in a certain way. You think about it.
There's so much. It's so layered.
I mean, his whole discography, like all his covers are really good, but I don't know. This is just a catchy tune. I like this version, I think, more than the original Bare Naked Ladies version. Because it gets that pop punk, tickled. And
it really does.
You got some Bare Naked Ladies, so
it works out.
Yeah.
No, this is fucking dope. I love this track. I was like so confused. I was like, did I miss Blink-182 covering this song at some point? Like, but yeah, I think it's fucking wild. I think it's awesome that he can does such a good job of capturing elements of Blink. Yeah. Like, it's fucking cool. Like,
if you go down if you look at like his discography on Spotify, like there's other pop punks bands that he covers, and he'll do it in their style because this is very much the Blink-182 formula. But there's other bands, like I think he's like a We the Kings and like a Set Your Goals. I don't know if it's Set Your Goals, but maybe I can't remember this. Another band that's very popular, but yeah, he just said like, oh, it'll be this version, and like if you go and listen to that band, he like nails like all their tropes that they usually have. So yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's cool. I'm into it. Caleb, as somebody who just put the Blink-182 song on here, how do you feel about this song?
So, I didn't like the original Bare Naked Ladies song very much.
Well, you can leave, sir.
Yeah, exit the meeting.
Exit the territory greaser.
JK, you have your place on the council is sold.
He nails.
A meeting later.
This guy, he fucking like nails the Blink-182 vibe. Like, it's perfect. Like, blind test couldn't tell you that this wasn't Blink-182. So, points for execution, but I fucking hated this.
Damn, dude, I didn't see that coming.
I don't like the Bare Naked Ladies song, and I don't like Blink-182 or a person wearing a Blink-182 suit, if you will, like in Scooby-Doo. I don't care who's under the mask, although he did, like I said, great job. Really, really convincing. I don't fucking like this, and I would like my very first gavel, please.
Yeah, no, you got it. It's yours.
Bastard.
Sorry, Dusty.
So are you calling Alex Melton a Scooby-Doo villain? Is that...
Yes, he's really good at it too. No shade to Alex Melton. Really good.
Did you believe he was a real ghost?
I did. I thought this was Blink-182. Like, I was confused too. I was like, wait, did they cover this? When did they? That's what I was saying. Jinkies indeed.
Nick, what about you, man? How'd you feel about this song? Have you heard this before?
I absolutely have. I was pleasantly surprised when this popped up on our pop punk playlist because I'd been listening to it like probably every day for a week straight. It's a very low stress song. I love the original by the Bare Naked Ladies. I think I like this one more, just because I think it just ups the energy of the original enough to make it. It's like it's two kinds of fun that I can have at the same time.
It's like two chicks at the same time, brother.
Two chicks at the same time. But no, it's a lot of fun. Alex Melton is super talented. Like Dusty says, he has this knack for just capturing these characteristics, like distinctive characteristics of a band that maybe you didn't pick up on, but when he points it out, you'll never unhear it. He has a particular video where he covers a Machine Gun Kelly song, and like he splits it up into the styles of 11 different bands throughout the same song, and
it's
just
an epic.
It changes on the transitions, and it's just, I mean, some of it's 4 years strong, some of it's like,
I think he does like a neck deep version song.
Oh yeah, he's done Neck Deep. He's done actually some of the bands I discovered. He did Real Friends. He's done State Champs. There's too many to list.
Oh no. Oh shoot. Curse this mess.
But it's a
there
lot
we
of
go.
fun. Did I cut out or something?
No, I did for a second there, but you're good.
Oh, okay. Technical difficulties, I guess. But it was a good song. I listened to it a lot. It's a win.
Nice. Well, Jameson, how about you, man?
Nick, you stole the words right out of my mouth. Basically, everything I had written down, you were going to say. So I agree. This is better than the original, and the original's a good song too. Alex Melton's fun as fuck, and in the case of not being too repetitive, I suggest after our up and comers list that's coming next, we should do a covers playlist.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
I think half of my jazz songs were just covers.
Yeah, dude.
I think my jazz songs were all covers of stuff, so that's fine.
I'm definitely down. Well, fuck yeah. I guess that that'll take us right into somewhere. God damn it, somewhere on Fullerton, and this is another one of my picks. Hollister, whatever you. I was thinking about that in my head. I was like, is it Hollister or Hollister? Yeah, I was like, loosely related, hopefully. No, JK. Anyway, yeah, this is like a specific. This track, like, it's from. I discovered this song from the 2003 Warped Tour compilation CD. It was on the second CD, because back then that was split up into 2 discs, and this was like an album my older brother always had. Like, he had CDs, like he had some shit, and like this is when I would always like jack from him and like, you know, put in, and because the second CD in particular had just like the best playlist out of the 2. But this song reminds me of like, it reminds me of the estate and shit sometimes. It, you know, like it's singing about like just like a fucking place, like a place that, you know, you and your fucking friends know, like that home, like that fucking time, like and it's just got like a really good fucking energy to it. And so I was like, again, you know, like I said earlier, I was like, I feel like this fits into the category, so I'm gonna put it in there. Sure. But yeah, so it's definitely a little bit nostalgic for me, but I also think it's a good track. So that being said, the fuck the rest of you guys think. Nick, how about you?
This, hang on. Let me see if I heard this correctly. Did you say that you weren't sure if this fits into the pop punk genre?
I guess, yeah. I've never thought of any of the tracks that I put on here as pop punk.
Really?
But
That's
when I was
so
looking,
strange.
yeah, because but that was the thing. When I was looking at fucking Spotify, they were all listed as pop punk. And so I was like, all right.
Don't question the platform.
Hey,
Well, I was just like, I'm like, they're listed with all these other legit pop punk songs. So I was like,
if they played Warped Tour, technically, you know.
I mean,
so that I think there's got to be like a difference here. It's like the difference between someone who's hip and a hipster, you know, like the pop punk bands and artists that are deliberately trying to be pop punk do that, and sometimes there are just regular punk bands that kind of accidentally sound punk while they're making punk, like just regular punk music. I think the Offspring can fall into that category for one, and I think Alistair probably did it as well. But the thing is either, I don't know if it was by design or just by what they wanted to do, but they just check all the boxes of what pop punk sounds like. It has the guitars in the right places, the chord progressions are just like it, the beats like it, and the 2 vocals in like perfect harmony like that. It's the archetype. It's the I don't know how to use archetype in a sentence in this context. I'm very embarrassed.
Archetypical? No.
Yeah, it's
archipelago.
Archipelago.
Yeah, it's like not. I was like, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me on this one.
Arkham.
Well, like Nick, I think that's an interesting point, man, because like if thinking about it, like when I was stealing the CD from my brother, when this was like hot, you know, it was like, I feel like punk rock was the most used, like ubiquitous phrase that was being slapped on the bands like that. You know what I mean? But like now that there's like a whole genre that's like established, like it fits into a different one now, you know. I guess, which is kind of interesting. I never really and that's why I was like so perplexed. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get roasted over this or not, but like, there we go.
No, I don't remember if it was intentional or not. I think what pop punk initially started as, it was just the punk that happened to be popular and all kind of sounded the same or had the same elements of it that made it popular. Maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's the origin of the genre.
I would say it was like 2002 when Blink-182 was coming up, and then you had Sum 41 putting out Fat Lip, and especially, and
yeah,
I think at that point we considered it punk rock, but when you look back, it would be considered pop punk. You know, like,
yeah,
they didn't really have a genre, like, because I don't think punk was really that mainstream before Blink-182 and like Green Day and stuff. But some of that stuff, I mean, back in the day, like, oh, this is just punk, you know?
Yeah.
But now we look back, I would say we call it pop punk.
I agree. I mean, and I think you're right. I think back then, like, punk just wasn't. Blink-182, this is what we were talking about earlier. They pushed punk into the mainstream, which it hadn't really been before. Like, it kind of danced around it. Like, you mentioned Dusty, Green Day. But, like, because of that push, like, yeah, it started, like, that's when you start seeing an explosion of, like, different, like, steadily more commercialized, like, punk rock acts, and that's when, like, trends get established, and I think that's where, like, you know, subgenres then become a thing, you know. But
because it's probably like just like grunge. I mean, you probably wouldn't have called it grunge at the time. I mean, I don't know, I was probably 2-3 years old, but they probably just considered that rock at the time.
Yeah. So yeah, it's perplexing. It's interesting. That's why I'm like fascinated by this whole like pop punk foray. But either way, we gotta get some more opinions. Jameson, how do you feel about this track I put on here, Somewhere on Fullerton?
The head bobber for sure. Like the whole time I was listening to it, I was just kind of bobbing around. I liked it a lot. It kind of reminded me, the bass line was really forward into it. And so the thing that came to mind was Maxwell Murder by Rancid. Yeah. And so that is what I thought of initially, but this is a more poppy version of that, less punk forward, but another sick track. I liked it a lot.
Fuck yeah. Dusty, what about you, man?
No, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's, if you were to think of early 2000s punk, then this would be it, you know. Unlike, you know, like Belmont, which had more of a technical aspect, this just kind of goes under the typical pop punk song, like, you know, makeup, you know, it's quick, you know, there's not much to the chords, and I mean, they're just doing fucking power chords, you know, and fucking palm mutes, but I don't know, it's a solid song, and it's a head bopper, like Jameson said. When I first started listening to the playlist, I was cleaning my house, so I had my headphones on. It was just like dancing and sweeping.
Fuck yeah, dude. It does, dude. That's why, I mean, like, I enjoyed listening to this at work. Like, it got me more motivated to, like, oh, you know, like, while I was like dialing in the grind and shit. Shit like that. But Caleb, what about you? How'd you feel about this?
Okay. Well,
Oh boy.
I do like the sentiment of the lyrics. Like, it's a really, you know, I when I think of, like, you know, punk from the 90s and the 2000s, like, there's a lot of nostalgia wrapped up in it. And there's also a lot of mention of the suburbs because, you know, the target audience was, you know, kids from the suburbs who felt disenfranchised even though they had absolutely nothing to really complain about. This song,
To all of us,
it was in the
all of
90s.
us.
yeah, it's relatable. But this
White
song
kids.
is like, it's
Yeah, dude, we just have mental and emotional problems. It's all good.
yeah,
Hey,
that's
we
all
had
we
super soakers though.
Yeah, we do.
You're damn right. Or
It's also
knockoffs,
bad.
at least.
Yeah.
The Kmart version.
Well, this song kind of is the Kmart version of that genre of music. Like, it's about as it's about as generic as its album cover. That's not to say it's like it's not like bad. Like it's well done for what it is, but it's like it's a clone. It's, you know, like I feel like sometimes when you look at a genre, you're staring at the clone army, and I couldn't tell you who this was out of a lineup.
Well, you know what? I'll accept your opinion. I'll give you that. You can have it. You can. I don't care. I agree though. Like I mean, it does have like a really like, how do I say it? Easily digest. It's like it's easily digestible, and that always doesn't make for the most like, I don't know, stimulating song. But I would say at this point in my life, and as I get older, nostalgia is really what takes hold over this song.
Yeah, it's Wonder Bread and a glass of Sprite. And you know what? That's
and
fine.
A Twinkie on the side.
Yeah. Dip your Wonder Bread in your Sprite.
Yeah, dude, let's soak up. That's fucking gnarly. All right, well, let's guys, let's jump to the next one. We got track by Sleep It Off, Hopeless Hearts. So Jameson, where'd you pull this one from?
This was another deep dive. This was another band I had never heard of, and I considered putting this on my up and comer, but I found another band. I'm going to tease it now. So there's another pop punk band that beat these guys out. But their first album, the Sleep It Off put out, was in 2019. And I just think it has everything for like a quintessential pop punk song. Like it's not really... I don't know. I guess I'm going to say right now, it doesn't have anything that stands out, but that's not a bad thing. Like, it just fits the genre perfect to where it's like, it's exactly what I'm looking for in a pop punk song.
Fair enough. I mean, all the way down to the end where it has the fade out.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think this is it just hits the notes that you're looking for. Which by no means, like, I don't think that, I don't know how I say, like, it didn't make it boring, and it didn't make it like that captivating. Like, there were more captivating songs on the playlist, but this one was like, it just fit perfectly in. Like, you could put this song on anywhere in the playlist and it would like fit into that spot perfectly. You know what I mean? Just because it's like got that like the exact like pop punk energy. But Dusty, how'd you feel about this song? Hopeless Heart.
I kind of got some Yellow Card vibes from it at first. So that guitar riff that kind of had a violin kind of sound to it.
Interesting.
I don't know. That's just what I got out of it.
Dude, I haven't fucking listened to Yellow Card in like probably a fucking decade. Although now I'm probably gonna go back and listen to a track just for. But
like that lead guitar,
they're better than we remember.
Yeah, I know. I thoroughly enjoy Yellow Card, but that lead guitar, like that is so Yellow Card, like with the violin, which I enjoy. Like I don't know. That was the good thing about Yellow Card. They were slightly different because of the violin. So, but no, this is just, it's a pleasant pop punk song, and I bop to it for sure. No qualms with this one.
Caleb, what about yourself?
I would take it a step further, and like I also like, I was kind of putting my finger on it, but Dusty called it. It does remind me of like Yellow Card, but it also. It's like Yellow Card had a baby with Taking Back Sunday. Like, I get that vibe as well. There's a little bit of like kind of emo influence, I suppose is what I would call it. That being said, I really don't like gang vocals. And I don't like when people go whoa, 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 and la, la, la. Like, write some fucking lyrics. Lazy pieces of shit.
But I thought you didn't care about lyrics, so why do you care?
No, I like lyrics when they're good, but if you don't have good lyrics to write, I guess just go whoa, whoa, whoa. And that's fine. I mean, it like you guys were saying, like, it scratches the itch for what it's going for, and they nail what they're going for, and it's not bad, but it's not for me.
Fair enough. Nick, how about you?
I personally love the gang vocals and the woes. That's like one of the only things I wrote in my notes is that the whoa part is a fucking hook. Like that is like get stuck in your head for hours kind of hook. It's a lot of fun. I think these guys actually fit into the easycore genre as well. Because it's pop punk, but with a lot of the rhythms and the dynamics, and especially the technicality of of metalcore is applied in this song. And so I think this fits them in with bands like Chunk No Captain Chunk. I think Belmont sometimes fits into that genre as well. But it's a lot of fun. It's some of my favorite music to listen to. If I could do an entire easycore playlist myself, but we're not gonna, or are we? But it's a lot of fun. And I think I saw these guys Sleep It Off, and they sounded similar enough to another band that I actually thought this was Settle Your Scores at first, which is very similar. If you like this, you should check out Settle Your Scores. And that was my final note. So good song. It's a win. Every song's a win.
Every song's a win. Well, does that include your next song, Get By Real Friends?
Real Friends, once again, I'm a sucker for hooks, as we've discussed about 10 seconds ago.
That was unintentional. I didn't mean to line it up like that.
I don't know. I'm pretty proud of that transition, honestly. I thought that shit up on the fly.
Perfect.
I threw that shit before I walked in the room. Yes. Oh my god. No, Real Friends, I think I actually discovered once again from an Alex Melton video. This was a couple years ago, and I found these guys, and every single song that's like one of their most played song has just this super memorable element to it. And in this particular one, the chorus of "You'll get by, but I'll get better," that just, it's the melody of it. I love it. I love the rhythm of it. I love the way all of the music plays off of the lyrics. It's just a perfect piece of chorus. I don't find many pieces of music perfect, but that chorus is flawless. But this song is a blast to listen to. Pretty much every song by Real Friends is really good. People weep to this band's music because they do have that emo influence.
Oh, God.
People weep to this band's music.
Fall down and weep.
I don't know. I just picture a bunch of like 14-year-old, 15-year-old girls in a Hot Topic weeping as this is playing. As they're picking out their Rick and Morty stickers and shit.
That's that. Oh God, that checks out. I don't know who their audience is. I didn't bother to look that far into it, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of overlap with the easycore guys, with the Midwest emo guys, and the modern pop punk guys. These guys are really popular, especially on Reddit. People just rave about these fucking guys. But their music's really good. Every single song of theirs is memorable because they just know how to write memorable music. It's really well done. So I recommend you guys check out more of these guys.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I definitely, this was another one that I was like, man, I'll probably follow up on these guys because I really liked the production on this song. And it like, I don't know, you're really right about that chorus, Nick. I think it's cool. Lyrically, I really like it because you can apply that, like anybody can apply that to their life, like where they probably had somebody who's like shit on something that they've like, wanted or, dreamed about. And it's like, to any degree, and you can just be like, man, fuck you, like I'll keep getting better, but like you'll just be the same fucking asshole. It's kind of cool. I like this song. But who am I gonna pick? That's the real question. Jameson, how about you?
Yeah, this one was an immediate add to my playlist. I really like the bit of raspiness the lead singer has to his voice. Like, it's just enough, like it doesn't, like it definitely isn't qualified as like screaming by any means, but he just has a little bit of rasp, a little bit of English on his voice that just adds enough to it that it doesn't make it a generic pop punk song. So definitely a winner for sure.
Fuck yeah. Caleb, yourself?
I didn't hate this one. I thought the guitar tone was really, really nice. Good dynamics. It sounds like a pop punk song, but it is also like evolved. I don't know, like I can't really place why, but they sound like a more advanced or evolved like version of Mxpx. Like stuff I like about that, like it's not just totally the same formula like as a lot of other bands in the genre, and they do what they do well. I don't know if I'm gonna like do a deep dive, but I didn't hate listening to this at all.
Fair enough, man.
I can chime in actually.
Yeah.
I don't think this guy plays a single power chord or a major or just any kind of standard chord at all in this entire song. It's some kind of weird music chord. I'm gonna be honest. I've been playing guitar for like 20 something fucking years, and I only know like 5 or 6 chords.
Put your fingers places until it sounds good.
I just hope for the best. This guy apparently knows every chord, and I think he employs all of them on this song.
He knows all the music chords.
The best guitar player among us doesn't know even. Yeah, this is a music chord. You're like
there's this suspended, diminished.
Yeah. Don't
Autistic.
get me started on that shit.
At 9.
Yeah,
flat.
That's like Dave Grohl. I read this article where Dave Grohl doesn't actually know chords either. He just like figures it out. So it's fine.
Hey, man.
Yep. You're describing the almost 20 years of guitar playing I've been doing.
Yep.
What's a scale?
I know like 2 or 3 scales. And one of them is just the minor scale with one different note.
Don't talk about that one.
Don't talk about that.
You'll go to jail.
I hate that you're so good
Never
at guitar and you don't understand any theory.
I'm learning, man.
I like during the early pandemic was like studying scales, and I still suck.
Well, at least you can
Scales
fucking
aren't
play
how you get
those.
good at guitar. You get good at guitar by just trying to play shit that you can't play.
Mm.
I don't know why that works, but it works.
Well, Dusty, before we move on to the next track, what's your thoughts on this Real Friends?
Solid, just another solid pop punk song, and the chorus is very good. I'll give him that. Yeah, no complaints about this. I could elaborate, but I think you guys kind of all touched the main points on it. It kind of gives you all the, you hit every, chord with pop punk songs. Yeah, solid.
Fair enough. You hit every chord.
All the music chords.
Well, that takes us to a song I was surprised that this was on here. I Want to Be Sedated by the Ramones. So, Caleb, you chose this song.
Why were you surprised?
Well, mainly because, and this is what I was just going to explain. Like at first, so I was surprised at first because I'm so I do not apply the Ramones to what I think of as the pop punk genre. But like in thinking about it, like I have to apply that same logic to the same shit that I put on here, where it's like it's from its time, right? So anyway, yeah. So why'd you choose this song though?
Well, I think the reason I could see why it might seem like a bit of a stretch, but at the same time, at least in my mind, it makes perfect sense to me because when you look at like punk bands from, they wouldn't have called this pop punk back in the day unless they were being mean maybe. But when you compare them to bands of the time, like Sex Pistols or bands that started coming after that were, punk was fucking intense and hardcore, like Black Flag, Bad Religion, NoFX, Dead Kennedys, it was political, it was this, it was that. And the Ramones are a little bit of that, but they're kind of the lightest version of their era of punk, and I would say maybe the true origins of what we might consider pop punk, because it's it's light, it's fun, it's not super heavy, and it's a bop, it's fun. I love the Ramones.
It's like a blitzkrieg bop.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Sex Pistols would have been assholes to the Ramones and be like, "You guys are pop punk," you're not true cult.
No, I think. I mean, and maybe we're misspeaking but I really don't know in the moment, but I do feel like that could be applied. Like, I love the Ramones too, but it's like, you know, you didn't see the Sex Pistols make like the Rock and Roll High School type movie, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And that being said, so, and you know, like that there are like, again, like if you listen to like certain vocal inflections that he has, even on this track, like it is kind of like more of that, like kind of you're gearing towards like certain enunciations that you then see later on down the line. And so I don't know, it is interesting. So that's why I was like, overall, like I was surprised by it at first, and then I was just sort of like this kind of like makes sense, you know, in a lot of ways. So it was an interesting pick, man. And that being said, I can't fucking hate on this song. I like this song. So
I mean, I had to come up with a third song to put on here, and you guys have no fucking clue how difficult it was for me to pull 3 pop punk songs out of my ass. So I had to just figure out a way to make it work.
Well, I'm all right with it. Nick, how'd you feel about this Ramones song?
I'm not gonna lie. I had an entire 180-degree shift in opinion in the last like 30 seconds or so. So initially I was highly offended that you would apply such a garbage label that is pop punk. I love pop punk, but it is most of it is trash.
Agreed.
It is not gonna stand the test of time. It never will. It never has. It will be forgotten. But real punk is real fucking punk, and that is like for a reason. Like, punk is a very legitimate genre that has like a basis in reality. It is political. It is serious, and it is like it's some hard shit, man. And I was initially offended that you applied the pop punk label to the Ramones, since these guys are OGs. But that said, when you pointed out that they did become popular and they did get a lot of radio play in spite of being punk rock, that really does just harken back to our conversation from earlier about like what pop punk is. It's just the elements of punk music that were popular that then turned into its own thing. Mm-hmm. And you actually totally turned my mind around on that one. So you change my opinion. I will accept these guys as popular punk, but I still am not gonna ever, you know, if someone asks me for a pop punk band, I'm not gonna tell them about the fucking Ramones.
No. If anybody ever asks, and if somebody even near me says the fucking Ramones in like the terms of like pop punk outside of this goddamn podcast, I'd probably smack him in the back of the head, boy.
You know a tomato is a fruit. Damn it, Bobby. Like, you know a tomato is a fruit, but you don't put it in a fruit salad.
There you go. I like that.
One other thing, Caleb, I seem to remember you wearing literally the same Ramones t-shirt for like 3 years straight. I think it may have been the only shirt you owned.
I owned a few others, but
Yeah,
I
you
like
might
that
be
shirt.
thinking-
I love the Ramones.
I think Joey also had that same Ramones shirt that he wore.
Caleb also had a CBGB shirt.
Oh, fuck you.
And I also had a pair of camo pants that I wore for a very long time.
Yes.
I need to revitalize that look.
Bring it back.
Get me some camo pants.
It's getting harder and harder to find that BDU pattern, man.
Yeah,
That
I'm
shit
gonna
was from
find
a long time ago.
Damn it.
So Dusty, how do you feel about this Ramones track?
I guess you wouldn't call it pop punk, but the fact that they're such pioneers that, you know, I have no issues with it being on here. I enjoyed the change from the previous song. You jump like 30 years back to the past.
Yeah.
And like, this is actually one of my favorite Ramones songs. I would have been personally offended if you put Blitzkrieg Bop on here, because that song is the most overplayed. I mean, it is probably the original pop punk song, think about it, but that song's probably the most overplayed song I've heard in my entire fucking life. So, but no, I love the Ramones, and I was never a huge fan of them, but you know, they're pioneers in that way, and so wouldn't have any of these other songs without them. So
I agree. Jameson, how do you feel about it though?
So I would agree. Yeah, they're seeing them in the playlist, I kind of went along the same mindset where, yeah, these guys are pioneers. And as much as I said Blink-182 are the OGs of this genre, this is probably predating them. Well, obviously predating them. And definitely set some stones in place to build up. But I definitely thought like Caleb probably wanted to be sedated listening to the rest of this playlist, so I thought that was fitting.
He caught it.
But just as a quick side note, just a shout out to the fucking Ramones. I looked it up, and they are like Guinness book holders for the longest touring band of all time, and they toured for nonstop for 22 years, playing 2,263 concerts, and averaged a concert every 3 days for 22 fucking years.
Dude, that's fucking wild.
It's like Rush level shit.
It's a lifestyle. Holy cow.
So,
Yeah, dude,
I mean, hats off to those fucking guys. They're all dead now, but that's fucking impressive as hell.
Are they really
probably
all
killed
dead
him.
now? Because I know Joey Ramone was he kind of died early.
All of the original
Joey
band
Fatone?
members are dead.
Yeah, not Joey Fatone, Joey Ramone.
The same person. He just reinvented himself.
That would be like Ted Cruz and Zodiac level shit.
He got a lot of plastic surgery.
Joey Fatone is way older than we think he is.
Conspiracy theory starts on this
He's a
podcast.
vampire.
Joey Fatone is actually Joey Ramone.
He just changed 2 letters of his last name and he's like, it's fine.
Sounds close enough,
You
but they won't catch on.
You thought the Ted Cruz conspiracy was one thing. Wait, you hear this?
Dude, they come here. This is what they come here for. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
They get snack advice, conspiracy theories, and
Open your
playlist
third eye.
reviews. Yeah, open your fucking chakras
This is
with old heart
their-
radio.
They're Chris Gaines news. #1 Chris Gaines podcast.
#1 Chris Gaines news podcast on the internet, on
I feel
Spotify
like-
and iTunes.
I
That's
feel
where you
like
can
we just
find old
haven't-
heart radio.
We haven't had enough Chris Gaines updates lately. I feel guilty.
Shut up.
claiming
Shut
that.
up! Shut up!
Garth is
All
too
right,
busy
we'll talk about the
burying
next
bodies.
song while I look up Chris Gaines news. The next song has hats off goes to the best name on the playlist, Michael Sarah Palin. I just thought it was fucking great. Was it Go Home, Play Music, Feel Better?
Yep.
Dusty, you chose this song. Where'd it
Yeah,
come from?
I mean, I don't know. It's a fucking mood. It's just the go home, play music, feel better thing.
Word.
I don't know. Again, I consider this pop punk, but a different pop punk. I don't know. I thoroughly enjoy it. Just it's different than your typical. It's probably a little bit more Midwest emo than anything, but because I thought about putting modern baseball on here, but I didn't think that would fly. But I don't know. It's got some more pop punk vibes to it, and I don't know. I thoroughly enjoy the song, and so yeah, it's a catchy tune.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I discovered a lot of new like bands to follow up on, and this was one of them. I was like, damn, dude, I'm gonna like. Not only do I like, I'm always a sucker for a fucking good name, but it's always great when it's paired with like good music, and so I'm looking forward to like actually listening to this whole like EP or whatever it's on.
I think what catches me the most is his voice is different than your typical punk, or I don't know. The voice is unique to me, so that always catches me too.
Hell yeah, nah, I like it. Caleb, how do you feel about Michael Sarah Palin?
I don't like Michael Sarah or Sarah Palin. So they're already, that's not a good sign. But honestly,
Hate
it's
on
not that
hate on
bad.
Michael Sarah all you want, but Sarah Palin did nothing to you.
She can see Alaska
Wait.
from her house, okay?
Scratch that.
She throws
Russia
rocks
from
at Russia.
Reverse it. How
You're
dare
not,
you?
You're not welcome in Alaska ever.
The state of Alaska, no longer
Is
allowed.
she welcome in Alaska?
I've never been. I'd like to
I
go.
don't know. That's a good
Well, I
question.
don't. I
Anyway,
don't
your
think-
thoughts on this
Yeah.
song. Your thoughts on this-
It kind of just sounds like a lot of bands that I remember like hearing at Cafe Mela that I was like, yeah, they're good, but I don't care. Like that's just how it.
Jay Schmouder being the forefront of those bands.
No.
Yeah, I was like,
What
used
Jay
to play
Schmatter
there?
Alcatraz
He's-
sounded like.
This is not.
They're
we're not-
fine,
I'm
but
not
I
talking
don't, I
about.
don't care.
I'm not talking about Schmouder. I'm not gonna say names because I can't even fucking remember. That sums it up. It's definitely it's well done and it's cool for what it is, but it's just like, like okay, this guy has a Telecaster and a lot of pedals. I bet. Like, yep.
Likely.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's like hipster
does. Punk. It's Telecaster and a pedal board. I have a Telecaster and a pedal board. You're correct.
You're correct.
That's because you're a basic bitch.
I am.
Go stare at your shoes, you bitch.
Well, Nick, did this track suit your fancy then?
Of course it did. Every track is a winner.
Everybody
gets a car today.
Yes. Look under
you get a car. You get a car.
No, but Dusty hit the nail on the head. I think this definitely falls more into the Midwest emo, but once again, it has those elements of pop punk. It's fun to listen to. These guys show up like when I'm listening to Cliff Diver and Mom Jeans. I'm going to feature Mom Jeans.
See, this is where I got this song from. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. But this is they're a never skip band. I've never really gone out of my way to listen to Michael Cera Palin, but I've heard them often enough. They're a really cool band. You should check them out. I don't know what Michael Cera's up to lately. That's not part of it.
He just had a child actually.
Is he in the band?
Someone did with that guy?
think he's. Yeah, it's a 2-person band. It's Michael Cera and Cera Palin.
I mean, that would be incredible.
Did they have a child together?
I would for sure see that live.
That'd be a scandal.
100%.
That'll be on TLC.
Hi, so this is my husband, Michael. He's a real sweetheart. Hey guys. We're gonna go kill a moose later.
Do you think Michael Cera's ever killed a moose?
No.
Maybe.
I don't think
Jameson's like, as a hunter, no.
He played like the villain in a like a thriller horror movie one time, and it was very convincing.
No.
Like, just apply all of those things you find normal about Michael Cera, like what you picture about him, and then just turn it in the wrong direction.
I mean, because I feel like Paul Dano is his like doppelganger, but Paul Dano is like the evil version of Michael Cera.
Paul Dano is the most underappreciated actor in Hollywood.
Oh, I fucking love that guy. But it just seeing Batman reminded me how much he is Michael Cera, but the bad guy version of Michael Cera.
Michael Cera is the human. He's the human equivalent.
Jared called timeout.
It was called Magic is the name of the film.
Okay.
Michael Cera is the human equivalent of a loaf of white bread that has been left out in the rain.
He's made a career off of that.
Yeah, he has. Good job, bud.
I don't know. Superbad's one of my favorite movies ever made. So
yeah.
All right. Hold on though. We gotta get back to this track.
Okay.
What?
Back to it.
So, Nick, this track just hit all the notes for you.
Yeah, it did. It was less pop punk. Once again, Dusty is hitting us with the left field stuff, but I really like mixing my pop punk with my Midwest emo. You know, the two chicks at the same time flavor.
Yep, $1 million. Tell you what,
Queso and white queso together.
Ooh,
it's confusion, bro.
I like my 2% milk with my 1% milk.
Yeah, 3% milk is my favorite milk.
That's not how.
Oh my god! I had one glass of 1% milk. One glass, 1% milk. I got 2% milk.
By that logic, you should be able to take 50 gallons of 2% milk and say, I want to be charged the price for 1 gallon of whole milk.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Listen, guys, I work with milk every day. All right. I know about milk, okay?
Don't you fucking tell this guy about milk.
What are we talking about?
I'm a milk aficionado.
This guy can milk a cat.
Oh.
You can milk anything with nipples. All right.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Anyway,
Nipples
Jameson.
milk me.
We gotta get Jameson's opinion on Michael Cera Palin.
All right, out of the fucking weeds.
Out of the fucking weeds. Away from nipple talk.
we made some mention earlier of down tempo, and I think this is down tempo pop punk. Like, it still has the drums and it has the right feel to it, but it just slows everything down, which we've mentioned before. I'm a big fan of slowing things the fuck down. So
Yeah.
I did like this song quite a bit. It reminded me of Bayside though, so
Good call.
I thought it was a good fit,
Nice, man.
especially for ending out like at the bottom of the playlist. It was a good fit for that for sure.
I agree. Do you think you'll follow up on him?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if it'll make it into my heavy rotation, but I definitely check this album out and give them a couple more plays for sure.
Fair enough. Well, all right. Well, that takes us to the last track on the list, which is one of mine. Motion City soundtrack. The Future Freaks Me Out. It's not entirely untrue. 2023, you never know what's gonna happen, man. Anyway, this song, it's definitely calls back to like Del Pod days. I feel like that's when this can, like, the Del Pod days, like that's when this can be applied. I probably ripped this off of Troy's computer at one point in time. This and like Let's Get Fucked Up and Die, and then those kind of like lead you to bleeding into more. But Motion City soundtrack's like a really like it's not for, it wasn't for everybody back in the day. I feel like it was like they had a couple of good songs, and then like you dig too deep and people were like, this is just too fucking weird. Not that it gets like crazy, I think, but I've always liked them. But again, this was one I was sort of like, I mean, I feel like this is pop punk, right? Like I'm not crazy in that.
Oh no, it's pop punk.
All right.
Yeah, I give it to him.
All right. Well, okay. So how'd the rest of you guys feel about this song? Dusty, how'd you feel about this song?
I wasn't ever the biggest Motion City soundtrack person, but I don't know. This is really catchy, and maybe it was because I didn't really listen to them that much. But I think this is a good ending song to the playlist as well. Could have also ended with "To Be Continued." That would have been fitting.
That would have been fitting.
But no, it's catchy. It kind of like it hits all the right notes with the pop punk genre. And it's pleasant. Like I said, I didn't skip a single song in this playlist and cleaned my house to it and danced along. So,
boom, man.
It's house cleaning music.
That right there is some house cleaning music. That's true though. It's an energy.
Yeah, no, it's probably the same thing with you. Like you're opening the cafe, you gotta get going. So
Exactly. Caleb, what about you?
I kind of remember this one from back in the day, but I feel the same way I do like now as I did about it then. Like I always thought this was Weezer. It
What?
reminds.
How the fuck?
I thought the same thing.
Me too. Fuck.
There we go.
What?
Oh, look at that.
It sounds like a Weezer song, man.
Yep, it does. It's a Weezer clone, and
You're fucking high.
it's a little more energetic maybe
I'm
than
fucking in. Yeah.
I don't know. It's
No, that's interesting. That's interesting that three of you thought that it was like a fucking Weezer song. Well, does that make it bad for you then?
it's not good. I don't know if it needs. There it is. It's too late now.
Or does it
taking
sound
it.
like River
No
Cuomo
taking
at
it
all?
back.
I don't understand where you get Weezer from.
I don't know. It all just sounds like nerdy shit.
I'll tell you what. You'd have to look up whether this song came out before Beverly Hills, because that's like the Weezer song that this sounds most like to me.
Yeah.
In terms of like his vocal style, but like I mean, I suppose it does have some like.
Kind of sounds like the Sweater song.
Yeah, I was gonna say it does sound like the Sweater song, like
Fucking
musically.
nerds
I
saying
think
about
so.
sweaters.
His voice is a lot. His voice is definitely like. I feel like River Cuomo's voice is a little bit lower, but whatever.
It definitely is lower. I feel like overall. Yeah. Jameson, how'd you feel about this song though?
Yeah, I wrote down a higher singing, faster version of Weezer, and that it's
Same.
fine. Like God damn it, I thought I was gonna be the original one here, but I guess not. It's fine. Wasn't really for me. I have no nostalgia. I don't know that I could name you another Motion City soundtrack album or song. So Didn't really do it for me. Didn't itch or scratch any itch for me. So, meh. Rather listen to Weezer.
Fair enough.
And I don't really like Weezer, so.
Is it a gavel for you then?
Yeah, why the fuck not?
Throw one in there. Let's pepper it on. Nick, are you gonna cast this one away?
No, I'm really not. I mean, I'm definitely going to have to be in a very particular mood to listen to it. However, this is going on the same playlist that's going to have Sugar Ray on it. It's going to have Len on it. It has a very specific summery feel to it, and it's not fucking summer yet. So I did not very much enjoy it right now, but I know a couple months from now I will.
Fair enough.
One thing I did want to point out is the snare in this song. So we're going to get in the music production weeds here. That was the most bongo-ass snare I've ever heard in a radio track. Like, that thing was like, you could, every time he hits it, it was just, boom!
Yeah, it's weird.
It was just this, like, big...
Honestly, I didn't notice that until you said that. Now that's all I can hear.
It's so distinctive and it's so important to the song that they can't they could never remaster the song and not have the bongo snare. But I would never pick a snare tone like that for any of my music. Like if my snare came out sounding like that, I would throw the song in the trash. But it really works in this song.
I'd throw that song in the trash.
No music chords for you.
In the recycle bin.
Yeah.
Oh, don't drag it to the recycle. Oh, we live in a digital age.
I'm an analog man.
Well, all right, guys. Well, let's try and hit our tops and bottoms. Does anybody have them set aside already?
Oh no!
Oh, what happened? Oh fuck!
Lost at the tops and bottoms of it all.
Okay, well,
hold on.
He's back.
Okay.
He's
All
back.
right. Oh my!
He
My
hit
goodness.
the literal bottom there.
Yeah,
Let's try it
I'm
again.
out. So, yeah, we'll I'll just chop that. Let's go to the tops and bottoms of. Do any of you boys have yours listed already?
I have mine. I can go.
You go first, then, Jameson.
So, bottom of the list, I think I'm going to give it to that song by the Sidekicks, Weed Tent. Didn't hit for me. It didn't fit this playlist for me. I know some of you other guys said it did. But going off of a song that's not my own, let's go with Belmont, Overstepping, for top of the list. That extra technical bit, it was a fucking cool song. I'll definitely be checking out more Belmont.
Fair enough, man. Yeah, that was one of those near the top of my list. I would have to say, if I'm being honest, probably bottom of my list here is gonna be Blink-182's Feeling This, just because I've heard it a million times, so it's not like I'm not opposed to it, but it also there's just better songs on this list. Like not like that's saying anything like that's a bad one. It's just like I don't know, it wasn't as enjoyable in comparison to other things on here. But top of the list, I really think I'd have to give it to Nothing Left, that action adventure song. I really fucking dug that. Like that was one I was like, I want to look into these cats. That's for sure. What about the rest of you guys? Nick, do you have yours?
Yeah, I got mine. So top of the list for me, I'm gonna have to give that to Set Your Goals. So thank you, Jameson, for putting those guys back on my radar. Like there's just a bite. Like there's an edge to these guys that I've been missing in some of the music that I've been listening to in this vein. And so Set Your Goals is absolutely gonna get some of my ear time pretty soon. Bottom of the list is not because it's a bad song, but it's because even after having listened to it like 4 or 5 times, I can't remember what it sounds like. It's gonna have to be somewhere on, I don't even remember the title.
Oh, you're on somewhere on Bulletin. Yeah. Fair enough.
It's not a bad song. There's nothing about it that's just memorable to me.
Yeah, it can be missed. I feel that. It's just like it's one of those.
It was a good band though.
Well,
Super Soaker.
What about you, Dusty? How about you?
Obviously, all my songs are my favorites. My least, okay. I'll agree with Nick on the Alistair song. It was my least favorite. I thoroughly enjoyed that song. Enjoyed every song on this list, but it would be the one, like if I were to power rank them all, it would be the bottom one, just because it's so generic pop punk, and the template is the exact pop punk template, which I love. You know, it's like, yeah, I love steak, but some people's steaks better than other people's steaks. So, yeah.
Well, what's your top?
All my songs, but
We talked about this.
I really thoroughly enjoy the Belmont song. I think that stuck out the most, but actually I'm gonna put The Kids Aren't Alright up there, just because, I mean, it just, I don't know, it's nostalgia so deep that, so yeah.
Feel it in your bones.
Mm-hmm. No, like I said, I love the Offspring, and they get their hate, but you know what? It's fine.
Fair enough.
They get an 8.
The 8. Well, Caleb, what about you?
Never
This
gonna know
was-
that denominator.
It's 8.
You don't
need
to know.
You'll never know.
This was tough for me. The whole experience. I didn't hate it as much as I expected I would, and that sickens me greatly. That being said, it was really honestly very hard to pick, like, because there were some really great songs that I was very surprised by, and there were some really bad ones that I was not. I'm gonna say, like, I'm really like torn between, like, I'm sorry to pile on Jared, but I'm torn between Somewhere on Fulton by Alistair as a bottom, but I think I'm gonna just pounded him over the head with a gavel. I think I'm gonna give it slightly to 1 Week, Blink 182 version by Alex Melton. Points for execution, he nailed it, but God, I fucking hate everything about that song. Top, I think the top, the pull ahead there is Coffee at Midnight by Stand Atlantic. It's interesting. It's really well done. It's pretty. It definitely leans more towards pop, which I've come to enjoy more these days. With an honorable mention to Belmont, because I like that technical shit.
Yeah.
I
Belmont.
feel like we need to like start drafting songs for like, oh, here's a genre on draft songs.
Dude, we could. This was an interesting playlist, because like Caleb, you talk about how you're surprised at how little hatred you had over this playlist in comparison to what you're geared up for. I again am like not the biggest fan of pop punk, but I found at least 5 fucking bands on here that I'm gonna follow up on. So I personally thought this was a really good fucking list. I'll definitely probably keep jamming this one into the future, honestly. So yeah, I don't know, pop punk, I don't think it, like Nick said, I don't think it's here to stay forever. It can hang out for now.
Party's still going on.
Yeah.
keep listening to it. Got another pepperoni pizza on the way.
With pineapple?
With pineapple.
No.
Jameson. We'll find it. Me and Jameson will get a
Extra
fucking extra large just
pineapple.
for us.
No, that's 3. Extra pineapple.
Dusty's in there.
I
Dusty's
gotta
in
say,
there.
I am a little disappointed. I expected Caleb to hate every moment of this one, and I was really looking forward to that.
Well, I hated
Yeah.
every moment of it the first time I listened to it, but that seems to be like the thing, is like my knee jerk is like, "Bleh." But then when I sit and kind of like examine it a bit more, like you can find something that's good about it, and maybe I'm just getting soft and nice in old age.
Can we do
We're gonna
ska
go
next?
with that.
No,
Yeah.
fuck
I really-
no.
Back to back.
I wanted more vitriol.
Well, okay, let's do fucking ska then.
No.
You'll get it.
I love
like,
that the vitriol is
no.
all contingent on Caleb's suffering.
Speaking of, so we talked about Cliff Diver. Cliff Diver just did a collab with Ska Network.
TuneNet. What?
Yeah, it's just a new Cliff Diver song featuring Ska Network, and it's an absolute fucking bop. It's so much fun. Since we're doing a pop punk playlist right now, I thought I'd shout it out because I think it came out today or yesterday even, but I listened to it today and I was like, shit. If I hadn't already uploaded my songs, I would have put that on here. Barf.
Oh shit!
It's like if we were to do an EDM list.
It's coming.
Yeah, that one's
It's
coming
coming.
too, Dusty. You gotta gear up.
I'm looking
for
forward
that.
to that.
I think Caleb got the most. This one was geared toward Caleb hate, which we didn't really get, but
Yeah.
everyone has to have a list that they hate. So the
well,
EDM is coming for Gil.
I don't know. I feel like Lucas's playlist was just that.
Oh no, we're gonna
Yeah.
hit you with that noisy dubstep. You're gonna
That's like
die.
the.
Oh no!
I don't know. That's like the fourth back shot towards Lucas's playlist. Sorry.
And on that note, we're gonna leave this episode there. Do you guys have anything else to say? Any last hatred to throw? And did anyone want to make fun of Peter Pascasio one more time?
Yeah, fuck that guy. He's a
Leave
dick.
Peter alone. He's fine.
Leave Peter alone. No,
I don't know.
seriously though.
Just keep your stick on the ice, kids.
There you go. Hey, and if you ever find yourself with a bowl of beer cheese soup, dunk some mini corn dogs in there.
Take it out onto the mosh pit floor.
Yeah. Every punk needs a little beer cheese soup.
Is there
All right.
broccoli chunks in it?
Good night, corn dogs.